What's good, YouTube? Today we're going to be reacting to Creepy Night Shift Story 2 by Llama Arts. Link in the description. So, I kind of wanted to get into some scary stuff, maybe you find it funny. And it's kind of like ironic why I'm like doing this now is when no one's home and it's like, it's at least 7. So it's 7, no one's home, and I don't want to turn off the lights, but the whole house is dark. So let's just get into it. Hopefully you get your popcorn, soda. I don't have anything.
It was around 3 years ago. I was 17 years old and I worked at the local library in my city. The library was located in the middle of the city, but was totally abandoned in the evenings. I only worked in the evenings, when all the older staff had already gone home. My colleague and I were the only one left there that night, as it was the day before Christmas and a blizzard was going on outside. Not one single customer
The
inhabited
day before Christmas, libraries are still open? Christmas Eve?
the building. My colleague Thomas was down at ground level, while I was sitting at my desk on the top level. Normally, I would take the time to study, but it was the holidays and I was completely bored to death. The library was recently renovated, so I could look outside through the big windows that they had put up. I mostly looked at the blizzard going on, thinking about my bike ride home. It was a dark December evening and the snow was piling up. I just really wanted to go home. It's really snowy out there, Tom. What do you say we close up early? No one's gonna show up anyway. Over. Your jokes are funny. Over.
What?
Just 10 minutes before we closed, I heard some people coming up the stairwells. It was some kind of family. One man and a woman, and 2 girls.
Look at their fits, bruh. I'm literally about to get on their fits. It's in the like Christmas Eve. Just it's George Washington, the Mona Lisa, and the 2 twins from that one scary movie. Why are you renting books at Christmas Eve? Go home, cook a fire, make
When
a
they
turkey.
came through the door, I immediately saw that they weren't ordinary. The man had a pale, almost white face and wore red lipstick. The woman was also completely pale. They all wore clothing like they used to be in the 17 or
That's what I'm saying.
1800s. I just had my history exam, so I recognized it
Yeah, you're a
immediately.
tryhard.
While I walked towards them, I saw that they were looking around as if they were lost. "Can I help you folks?" I asked them. They looked at me with big eyes, if I was talking Chinese. I almost thought about bailing, but as we just had a meeting about customer satisfaction, I asked again, a bit louder. "Can I help you folks?" They now all looked at me, with a big smile and large eyes. I was totally creeped out, and I didn't really know what to do anymore. "If I can help you, I'll be at my desk," I said, and I quickly walked away. When I was at my desk, I could still see the family just standing there, doing absolutely
The fuck?
nothing.
Fuck.
Tom, have you seen this family that just came in? Over. No, no one's come
The
through the
fuck?
entrance. You good? Over. Now I was even more creeped out. When I looked up, I saw the man walking towards me. From the inside, I could almost cry, but I did my best not to show it. The man stood in front of me with his pale face and called out something in a language I couldn't understand. It sounded like English, but it sort of wasn't. I couldn't make out anything. I looked down at my computer to make it look like I was searching, hoping he would just take off. When I finally looked up, nobody was there.
Fuck.
The whole floor was abandoned again. I did a quick sweep of the floor, but I found nobody. As if they just vanished. Just then, my colleague came up the stairs, and I told him what happened. He didn't believe me, and I thought I was trying to scare him. Luckily, there were security cameras in the library, so we could just watch what happened, right? After we closed the library, we went to the security office in the building and looked at the footage from earlier that evening. What I saw then was the creepiest thing ever. I was talking to nobody. The whole family wasn't on the screen. It was just me, talking to myself.
The fuck? Are these stories true, bruh? Are these stories actually true? What the fuck? Alright, I forgot to tell you guys we're gonna be doing 3 stories today. I don't know why I didn't say in the beginning. So next is Abduction Horror Story Animated. So if it says like the last one, it should be interesting. But what the fuck? Why would you even work at a library, first of all? And Christmas Eve, that's point two. And if I would have saw that old ass couple, I would have took off. Fuck the paycheck. Fuck the bag.
My name is Josh Roberts, and it's been a year since I was abducted. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was walking home from school. It was about 6 p.m. and there was a full moon and a chill in the air. I stepped off the bus, and for the first time, someone else got off with me. I'd never seen this new kid at school before. I could hear footsteps behind me. I took a quick glance and saw the kid walking at a brisk pace. I thought he was following me, so I took a left, which wasn't my usual route. I looked around again and saw him take the same left. My heart started pumping and my legs started shaking at the sound of the footsteps as they got louder and faster.
Take off!
I then panicked
and
started running. I remembered a shortcut in the nearby forest to my neighborhood, so I ran as fast as my legs could carry me.
Why are you going towards your neighborhood? Go to the school. Are you fucking retarded?
"Hey kid, wait up," said a heavy voice from behind me. I tried my hardest not to stumble on the logs and boulders in my path. I could hear the sound of sticks and leaves being broken by some fast, heavy footsteps. My legs started throbbing as the adrenaline wore off, so I took a detour towards a playground. I stopped to catch my breath, looking around for somewhere to hide, then went silent. I was doubtful that I lost him. I took my phone out to call the police when I spotted a local news article. "Caution, there is a suspicious man on the loose. He escaped the local prison and assaulted an officer. Beware, he may look like a teen, but he is in his 20s. If you see him, call 911 immediately and lock your door." My mind started rushing with thoughts, and I started to panic. All of a sudden, someone started choking me with their arm. I tried to
fucking move?
fight back, but they were so strong.
Yeah, he's swole as fuck. That's what your dumbass gets.
Hope began to diminish as I slowly blacked out. I awoke to find myself in a dark, damp room that looked like a basement. The floor was hard and cold. There were no windows, but there was a staircase and a bathroom.
Okay.
I tried to move, but I was tied up with a thick rope.
"Yeah, I got him. How much was the deal? 200?
"Listen, you gotta do a little better than that." "Okay, fine. You'd better bring the right amount,
or you'll be tied up like that kid."
"What? Are they selling me?" The guy sounded mad and anxious with whomever he was talking to. Right after he hung up, he opened the door and walked down the stairs with an evil smile. "Let go of me!" I exclaimed as he taunted me. My arms started to fall asleep due to the tightness of the rope. He came closer to me and I spat in his face. He looked at me in sheer rage. Then the doorbell rang, followed by pounding on the door. The guy grabbed some tape and shut me up before I could scream for help. He slowly backed off, signaling me to keep quiet, and ran towards the front door. I looked around, trying to see what I could use to untie these ropes. I spotted a rusty, sharp edge sticking out of the wall. This was my one hope. I successfully got up and tried with all my might to reach it. As I was trying to cut the rope from my hands, I could hear the commotion upstairs getting heated. I managed to free myself from the ropes when I heard the front door slam. The silence was terrifying. I was frozen in fear.
Go back.
Footsteps started coming towards the door. I choked and shuffled back to my original position.
Yeah, that's...
My back, wrists tightly locked together. "Now where were we?" said the man. He walked towards me, grabbed my ankles, and started dragging me when the phone rang. He dropped me instantly and charged upstairs. I wasn't going to lose this opportunity. I untied my feet, grabbed the closest thing to me, and hid behind some boxes. "Now where did you go?" he said as he stampeded down the stairs. I heard him getting closer to where I was hiding. I bolted up from behind the boxes and saw him checking the bathroom.
Wait by the door. Wait by
As
the
he
door.
walked out, I
Fucking
struck him
rock
over the head with a pole.
Come here!
He stumbled and fell
Yes,
to
sir.
the floor.
Dip.
Crimson red, pooled around his head. I ran
Hit a
upstairs and out the
Keemstar.
front
Hit a
door.
Keemstar.
I stumbled my way to the closest house, screaming. A woman thankfully opened the door. She was shocked and fearful when she saw me. The police were called and I was rushed into the hospital. They're still looking for that man, even to this day.
What the fuck? He did the right thing though by going back to place and hiding that shit. If he would have got closer and there was no phone ring, you gotta hit him with the chokehold. I don't care if you have a knife. I'm not letting go of that grip. I'm capping, by the way. I'm probably gonna get stabbed in my fucking mouth. But fuck. Alright guys, this one is called The Bridge. I don't know what it's gonna be about, but it is the last one for today. My dog got llama plushies and shit.
So this story takes place when I was about 16 years old. At my school, I played for the volleyball team, and every year we would go to a camp and do volunteer work for this guy. The camp was in the middle of nowhere. When we got to the camp, we immediately started to work until 8 p.m. This was around October, so it was already dark at 8. My two friends and I were sitting around the fire, trying to figure out something we could do so we weren't so bored. We heard that there was a small river down the hill from the camp, and we thought we could check it out. The problem is that it was some guy's property, and the owner of the camp told us to not disturb him since the guy was a little strange.
Then don't go.
We weren't really supposed to leave the camp, but...
Then why the fuck would you go? Like he says the guy's strange. Like, honestly, it's something wrong with white people.
16 years old, we loved breaking the rules. We walked about 10 minutes from the camp and finally reached the river. It was bigger than we expected, and there was a large wooden bridge that crossed it. The bridge was about 20 feet long and was big enough to let a truck go over it. My two friends and I decided to go under the bridge and check it out. As we were walking by the shoreline, we saw two headlights off in the distance moving towards the bridge, so we bolted underneath it and hid. We then heard the truck roll over our heads and to the other side. My friends and I chilled there for a while, just talking and throwing rocks in the water. It was about 8:30 at this time, and now it was pretty much pitch black. That's when we started to hear...
Didn't you just say you're supposed to get off work at 8? Why are you still there at 8:30?
A slow rumble in the distance. The same truck had come back, and this time it was moving much slower. We stayed put under the bridge, stifling our laughter. Eventually, the truck moved over the bridge, but rather than going over to the other side, the truck stopped right on top of us. The only thing you could hear was the rushing water and the hum of the engine. Then, the door of the truck swung open, and out came a loud thump on top of the bridge. Then we heard a loud scream saying, "I know you're out there! I'm gonna find you!" I looked at my friends and they were both shaking in fear. This must have been the crazy property owner, and he seemed pissed that we were on his land. He started screaming and saying he was gonna hurt us if he finds us. We could see that he had a flashlight and he was swinging it around looking for us. We heard loud thumps as he walked around a little bit, calling out for us, and thank God he never went under the bridge. Eventually, it went silent, and it sounded as if he went back into his truck. I was too terrified to move. We sat there for about 10 minutes, and then my one friend, who we'll call Trevor, whispered in my ear, saying that we have to go. I gave him a quick nod, and in slow motion we moved out from under the bridge. We started to army crawl on the shoreline of the river, and I remember looking behind me to see the top of the bridge. I saw a white Ford F-150. In the driver's seat was the man, staring right at me with a sinister smile, and he even gave me a little wave.
What the fuck?
At that moment I screamed and ran. My friends saw me run and took off after me.
Yeah.
I could hear screaming from behind us. I took a quick glance behind me and saw that he was chasing after us. I couldn't quite make out the object in his hand, but it seemed to be a weapon of some sort. We ran into the forest and ducked behind a bush. It was pitch black in the forest and we couldn't hear a thing. We sat there for a while, just shaking. The man never walked by us and we never heard him. After we gathered our courage, we got up and walked back to camp, got into our tents and tried to fall asleep. The next morning, we talked to the camp owner about the man that owned the property of the river. The camp owner said that he didn't know much about the man, but he knows that he has some mental problems and he'd been accused of assault. I am so happy that we were able to escape from underneath the bridge. I can't imagine what would have happened if he caught us.
What the fuck? That was... I feel like a lot of these situations could have been, like, handled differently. Like, if it's 8:30, you could have gone home at 8. And then the story before that, like... Honestly, you ran back home. You say you were right next to school, and if your bus dropped you off there, then go to school. The fuck? Run to the school. There should be security guards or a door or like something that you can run around and hide in. Not go back home openly just to get kidnapped, fold, and then get... Okay, like... And then the first story, what the fuck you doing working at a library? Talk about hiring. No racist. Alright, boys. That was the video. Let me know if you enjoyed. If you guys want to see me do more of these type of videos. Llama Arts will be in the description. Comment and like. And I'm out. Peace.